Hi everybody and welcome to this week's episode of my actual postpartum workouts. This week we are celebrating Kai turning 8 months. She is also crawling on all fours. Such a crazy maniac and completely dangerous nowadays. But we're also celebrating something from my own life, like my life, not just the kids. I just started teaching yoga again here in Sweden and in Swedish. But to celebrate that little milestone for me, I wanted to share one of the practices with you. So it's going to be a longer class. It's going to be some parts of a class that I will be teaching tomorrow. So not the full class, but almost a full class. And I hope that you enjoy it. I will be doing it indoors because it's freaking cold and a lot of snow outdoors right now. And also it's late in the evening when I'm recording it. So just enjoy the class. Tell me what you thought about it in the comment section. And also please have some understanding that I'm searching for words because I haven't been teaching yoga live in a very long time. So it's a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge and I hope that you will enjoy the class. See you on the mat. Bye. Welcome to class. Let's meet in a seated position. We're just going to start by closing down the eyes and find a steady rhythm in your breath. See if you can count the length of your inhale and try to match that and even add a couple of seconds on your exhale to just make it a little bit longer and a little bit steadier than before you hopped on the mat today. Roll back the shoulders. Make the space between the ears and the shoulders a little bit longer as you draw the head up towards the sky. You can keep your palms facing upwards. This is I wouldn't say like intense, but it's an active Vinyasa practice today. So it could be good to just collect some energy by having your palms face the ceiling. We're going to start by setting the right hand down on the ground. And as we inhale, you reach the left up and overhead and down to the right side for a side body stretch. You can look up towards the sky and turn the torso up towards the sky as well. Long breaths here. On the next inhale, you return with the left hand down on the mat and the right one reaches up towards the heavens and up overhead. Right side body stretch. Turn the torso up towards the sky or ceiling. Be mindful that you don't crunch the shoulder up towards the left ear. So try to create some space. We're going to head into a overhead flow. So just on the next inhale, reach up and overhead again, down towards the ground with the right hand. And then you try to flow now with the arms. So up and over with the left. And down with the left and up with the right. Inhale, return up. And exhale, overhead stretch. Inhale, up with the arm and follow with the other and exhale as you bend sideways. One more time, up you go and exhale, side body stretch. Now let's come back to a seated position and transition into all fours. From here, we're just going to do a couple of cat-cows to warm up the spine. You breathe in and you pinch the shoulder blades a little bit together, look up towards the ceiling. And when you exhale, you round the back, belly in towards the spine. And add in a little neck stretch as well, looking towards the belly. Inhale and exhale round the back. One more, inhale, pinch the shoulder blades and exhale. Empty the air out. And now let's do a little snake dance. So just move your spine in whatever direction that feels good for you. Maybe a couple of barrel rolls, just any kind of movement that feels good today. Just exaggerate the move if you want. Go back, lean forward, just something that will warm up your movement or warm up the spine. Perfect. All right, just sit back on the heels and do a couple of wrist rolls or wrist circles. And if you can, reverse the circle. I think that's really, really difficult. And try just a little bit of mental exercise as well. Great. All right, let's meet in a tabletop again and head into bird dog. So you lift your right hand and your left leg and you reach forward and back and you crunch in the elbow towards the knee. Reaching, extend, breathe in and breathe out as you meet elbow to knee. Third time. And now set down the right hand and let's step the foot up towards a low lunge or into a low lunge. Feel it out. Shift the hips back and we transition into a half split. If you need to, you can move your heel a little bit further in front of you. Otherwise, just lean or like shift your torso forward towards the leg. A couple of breaths here. All right, low lunge, just to transition. Pivot on the back foot, set your toes back and step back to plank. Just for a moment before you set both knees down and then you come back to bird dog on the left leg. So left hand and right leg reaches forward and back. Breathe in. And breathe out as you meet the knee to the elbow. Empty all the air out. Inhale, extend, exhale to meet. One more time. Set the hand down and come up to a low lunge. Let's find your breathing here. And for those of you who've been hanging out with me for a while now, you know that I'm Swedish and sometimes I will search for words. I try to keep this series in English so that more women can, find the support so that I can be a friend to as many people as possible, but it's not my native language, so sometimes I can't really find the word in the second that I need it. Okay, so shift the hips back to half split. It's especially difficult when teaching yoga because there's so many oral cues, but it's good practice. So I will thank you now for your understanding and patience. If you need to, step the heel a little bit forward. Come back to low lunge just for a moment. Set the toes. And come up on the toes on the back foot as you step back into plank. And then we meet in the first downward dog of this evening. Just step your dog out. This is the very first one, so just feel it out. All right, soften your knees a little bit and start to walk your way up to your hands. And let's meet in a halfway lift. Breathe in halfway, pinch the shoulder blades together. Exhale, down you go. Inhale, roll up to standing very gently. Circle the shoulders flat back. Let's meet in mountain pose. We're going to do 3 rounds of sun salutation A. So we're going to start by reaching our arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Put your palms together. And as you exhale, you fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Set your knees down if you want to. Exhale all the way down to chaturanga, to upward facing dog or cobra, and downward dog. Let's take 5 deep breaths here. Three. 4, and 5. Soften the knees and start to walk your way up. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing, reaching your arms up overhead. And exhale, fold back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step your feet back down to plank. All the way down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward dog. Soften the knees, look up towards your hands, start to walk or hop your way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fall down. And inhale to reach all the way up, palms touch overhead. And back down we go, this is the last time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fall down. Plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward dog. look up towards your hands, soften the knees, and start to walk or hop your way to the top. Halfway lift, fold down. Roll up to standing, palms reach up overhead, and come back down, Tadasana, mountain pose. Just take one moment here to reset your body, find your breath, and then we're going to step the left leg back to pyramid pose. So just a half step, not the full like warrior two step. And shift your hips forward. Straighten both legs and start to fold down. You can keep a straight back and see if you can maybe rest your hands on your shins or even grab a hold of that big toe. So legs straight, hips shifted forward. Two more breaths here. Look a little bit up and forward as you transition into warrior three prep. So take your hands and just set them down a little bit further in front of you than the foot and start to lift the back foot up. Reach the heel up towards the sky. Toes are pointing down. And try to straighten the front leg a little bit more. Kick that heel up towards the sky, up, up, up. Great, now set it back down again. And we're going to meet in a high lunge. So you keep your toes in the ground. Shift your hips forward. And raise your arms up overhead. A small back bend here. One more breath and return the hands on either side of the foot. Step back into plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward dog. We're going to change legs, so we're going to do the same routine on the other leg. So soften in the knees, look up towards the hands. Start to walk up to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Roll up to standing. Palms touch overhead. And down, mountain pose. Step the right leg about halfway back. And shift your hips forward. Straighten both legs, and when you're ready, start to shift your torso forward and down. Keep a straight back, and see if you can rest your hands on the shins or down to grab the big toe on the left foot. One more breath. And set the hands down a little bit further in front of you to kick the heel up to Warrior 3 prep. So use your hands to support you a little bit as you try to kick your back heel up towards the sky. Set the foot back down. Let's meet in a high lunge. So hips are still facing forward or shining forward. Small back bend. Perfect. Set both hands down, frame the foot, and step it back to plank. Shift forward, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward dog. Soften the knees. Start to walk your way up to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale and bow. Roll up to standing. Arms reach up overhead. And come back to neutral mountain pose. All right, from here you can start to turn your body towards the left and you take a big step out. So you come into wide-legged position like this. Keep your toes a little bit towards the center of the mat and your heels further out. So a little bit of an inward rotation here. And set your hands in your waistline. Breathe in. Put your arms straight out. Hands to the waist again. And breathe out and fold down. Weight on the toes. You can keep your hands on your waistline like this, or just have them hang down from the body. Even if you want to, you can also try to place them on the mat behind you like this. Just anything that helps you and gravity here in a relaxed manner. All right, set the hands back on the waist. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out and roll up. Circle the shoulders back and reach your hands out to either side. Breathe in, stand tall. Breathe out. And now we interlace the hands behind the back. Breathe in, chest shines forward, and start to fold. And let your hands become a weight over your head to help you with the forward fold. 2 more breaths here. Hands to the waist. Halfway lift. And we come back up. Slowly, mind your head. Hands out to the sides. And now we take small heel toes in towards the center, and we step up to the top of the mat again. And from here, we start by reaching our hands up overhead, and then we step the left leg back to warrior two. So big stance, wide stance. One arm reaching forward, right arm reaching forward, left arm reaching back. Try to find your center with the upper body. It's very easy to lean a little bit too far in front of you, so try to actively draw your body back a little bit and sink down in the knee. Breathe in, reverse warrior. And breathe out, extended side angle. Left arm is reaching up overhead. Three more breaths here. Let the next inhale guide you back up. Spiral the left hand down, frame the foot, and step back into plank to Vinyasa to down dog. Hips back and up. Look forward, soften the knees, maybe hop to the top of the mat, halfway lift, fold down, and roll up to standing. Mountain pose. Step your right foot back this time to warrior two on the right. Same thing here. Try to find your center. Avoid reaching too far in front of you, but try to just wiggle a little bit and then lean a smidge back. If you have a mirror, that's really cool to see yourself in your pose. If you don't, just try and trust the body and experiment a little bit. Breathe in, reverse warrior. And breathe out, extended side angle. Five breaths here. Let your next exhale guide you back up. And spiral the right hand down this time. And let's just step the right foot up to meet the left. Let's meet in a yoga squat. So keep your feet as wide as the mat. Your toes can just splay out to the sides. Set the bum down. If you want, you can use your elbows to press the knees apart to fit your upper body in between your arms or your legs. Long breaths. All right. Guide your toes back forward and let's meet in a halfway lift. So straighten the legs, feet hip width apart. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, exhale and fold. Roll up to standing. Tadasana. Breathe in, reach your arms up and overhead, small back bend. And exhale to fold. Halfway lift. Step or hop back to plank, chaturanga to down dog. And from down dog, you lift your right leg up towards the sky. And then you place your foot behind the left wrist. We're coming into pigeon pose. So step the back foot further back, and then you can just see if you can open your chest up here in this position before you set the elbows down, just for a moment or two. Make sure that you don't have any sharp pain in your knees. This is a quite an intense stretch, but it should feel good, like a good pain. If it starts to hurt, just let your right heel come closer in towards your hips. If you want, you can just let your head hang heavy. Two more breaths. Use your hands to guide you back up. And we're going to step back into plank and down dog. Just find your footing in plank first, and then you lift your hips up and back to downward dog. Lift your left leg up, far up, and guide it in towards pigeon pose on the left. So foot as far up as you can towards the right wrist. And when you feel comfortable here, just take a moment or two in this upright position first. Shine your chest forward. And if you want to, you can settle down on your elbows. Or even, stack your hands, form a pillow. Just rest here a little bit. use your hands to guide you back up. That felt really good. Just a moment here. Oh, I almost zoned out there for a moment. And let's just sit down on the bum. And I'm going to turn to face the camera, but you can just stay facing towards the top of the mat. And let's come into butterfly pose. So have your feet meet, the soles of the feet meet, and then you can open the soles up like a book. Maybe take this moment to massage your feet a little bit and thank them for sticking around, doing the best that they can. We are almost at the finish line of this evening. For me, at least, it's evening. Maybe it's in the morning or in the middle of the day for you, but for me, it's late evening today. We're about to close the practice, so just take this moment to send some love and gratitude towards the feet here while you can. And from here, we're just gonna sink down on our backs. And we're gonna come into a twist that you call supine spinal twist. So when you're here on this lying position, lying on the back, you can just lift your bum a little bit and move it towards the right side of the mat. And then you lift your feet up and you guide your knees to the left. And put your arms straight out to either side. So you form this big T shape with the arms. And if you want to, you can also use the left arm here to act as weight on the knees. Either that or just have them straight out, like take up a lot of space. This is a juicy spinal twist here. Usually I also like to pretzel my legs. So from this position, when you have your legs lifted, you can also just put the right one around the left like this and then guide it down. That's a little bit more intense, but it's really, really nice to deepen the stretch like that. And if you haven't already, you can also tilt your head towards the right. All right, let's meet with the legs all the way up and the bum, back in a neutral position in the middle of the mat. And give your knees a big hug, a little squeeze. Grab a hold of the knees and have them meet the armpits. Just for a moment or two. And from here, we're going to grab the feet, so from the outside of the feet, and transition into happy baby pose. And let's think a little bit about our happy babies and send them some love, gratitude for being here. If your kids, other people's kids, all the kids around the planet, just give them a lot of love. All right, now spread your arms out again and hop the bum to the left this time. And then guide your knees down to the right. And tilt your head to look towards the left. You can decide if you want to pretzel the legs or just, chill out here. All right, come back. Lift your legs up again. Give them a good squeeze as you return to the center of your mat. Just one final squeeze. A little kiss on the knees. Give thanks to the whole legs. Great legs. And let's just set the feet back down to come into our final pose, Shavasana. I have a rather high scrunchie on today, but if any of you guys have a scrunchie that is lower and that will disturb your Shavasana, then please remove it. Nothing worse than a scrunchie in the wrong place. And when you feel settled, just close down the eyes and enjoy, if you can, a couple of minutes rest here. If you need to go, then do that, and I will see you again next week. But if you can, I would highly recommend that you enjoy this peace and quiet, this time just for you, where you don't move a muscle, where you can fully relax. Nobody touching you, nobody clinging to you. Just, taking care of your own temple, your own being. We need to fill our cup before we can pour to others. And as parents, we pour and we pour and we pour. And sometimes we forget to fill up our own cup. And we can feel empty, we can feel tired. And, if you can, it's really, really awesome to give yourself a moment where you work on, getting some energy back, and where you treat yourself with lots of love and kindness, with exercise, with rest, with good food, alone time. All of that is really, really good for your body and your mind. I'm going to shut up now for 1 or 2 minutes before we close the practice together. Start to wiggle your fingers a little bit. Small movements to begin with. Let the toes feel alive again. Move your toes. On the next inhale, you reach your arms up towards the ceiling and a little bit down over your head. Full body stretch. Inhale, come up with the arms, and as you exhale down, the arms come down to the mat again, alongside your body. Inhale, reach them up overhead. Exhale, let them touch the ground overhead. As you inhale, reach them up towards the sky again and down alongside the body. One more time. Inhale up towards the sky and exhale down to touch the ground. Inhale up to the sky and down. Lift your feet and grab a hold of the feet, and let's start to roll. Let's do a couple of rolls. Get them to become bigger, as big as you need to rock your body all the way to a seated position. And I'm going to face the camera. You can just sit where you landed and find a grounded position here. So this time you might want to shift so that you have your palms facing down towards the sky, down towards the knees. Rotate the shoulders down and back. Take a big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. 2 more, just like that. Inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. Last one, in and out through the mouth. Bat the eyes open and have your palms face each other. Thank you for joining me on this longer yoga session today, and I wish you all a great day ahead or evening, and I hope to see you again next week. I want to just send some gratitude towards you guys if you made it through the whole video, and if you were here with me as I was searching for words. So big thanks to you, my friends, for being here and for joining me on this ride, and I will see you again next week. Peace and love. Bye.